Hey guys, Lucas D here. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick guide on how to play Path of Exile: The Awakening. If you're a beginner or just trying to start out, just trying to work out the mechanics of the game. Now, at the start of the game, you'll notice that when killing monsters, that gold does not drop. That's because there is no gold in Path of Exile. In Path of Exile, what will drop off monsters are orbs. Now, orbs are used to create or enhance properties of an item. So when the orb is applied to an item, it will consume the orb. Now, if I give you a quick demonstration of an orb, this is a jeweler's orb. What this orb will do is it will reforge a number of sockets in an item. This is orb transmutation, so what this will do is it will upgrade. If you've got a regular white item, it will make it a blue item, so a magic item. An orb of alteration, and so on. So reforges. So if you've got a blue item, you can make the properties on a blue item. You can switch the properties. So, for example, if I get a health pot here, which has 100% increased recovery on life. Now, say I'm not happy with the stats on this, I can just use one of these orb of alterations here. So, then I just right click, and then I click on that, and then boom. So I've got a different health pot now. So with different stats. So 50% reduced amount recovered, so they're pretty good stats on that. But now moving on to the next orb, you've got chromatic orbs. Now what they'll do is they'll reforge the color of the sockets on an item. So if I'm not happy with my sockets on my item, green, blue, green, red, I can use one of these orbs on here. And what that will do is that will randomize what the colors will be on. It will randomize the colors only. It won't do anything else. Just so it could end up being 2 blues and 2 reds, or it just depends on your chances with that. Next is an orb of chance. So if you've got a regular white item, it could possibly be you could possibly make it into a rare item. Or most of the time, 80%, I think it's 80-90% of the time, it'll be a blue item. And also you've got chaos orbs. Now, chaos orbs you can reforge. So say I've got a rare item here. If I use a chaos orb on here, without the sockets in it, so without the gems in the sockets, I can randomize. So I can make a new random value on my yellow rare items. Okay, anyways. Now, this is an orb of alchemy. With this, I can make, if I've got a normal white item, I can make that into a rare item, a yellow item. Okay. And a regal orb, what that will do is that will upgrade my magic item. So if I've got a blue item, it doesn't work on flasks, only works on armor, and it works on weapons. So if I've got a blue item and I just right click on that and apply it to the item, it will keep the 2 stats that the blue item has, and it will make it a rare item with those 2 stats and then an extra stat on that, which will make it into a rare item. Okay. So basically, the best way to value orbs is by checking the trade chat channel. You'll find the chat menu is when you press enter. When you press enter, you will have global chat. You can check what people are talking about in global chat, and you've got your trade chat. Now, I find the best way to value the orbs is just if you keep an eye on the trade chat channel, people will be selling things, and then you can actually see the value of what your orbs could be. I think in this league, in Tempest League, if I had one chaos is normally used as the universal currency. So if I normally two alchemy orbs are worth one chaos. Roughly about, think about 4 jeweler's orbs. 8 jeweler's orbs are worth about 1 chaos. And I think 2 chaos will buy 1 regal orb. Yeah, and so forth. So and so on. I think it's about 16 chromatic orbs will get you. You'll be able to get 16 chromatic orbs with 1 chaos. It just goes on. You can probably work out the value. Here you go. Like, so this guy's wants to sell chromatic orbs, 140 of them. So he'll sell 16 chromatic orbs for 1 chaos. And then he also wants to sell the orb of scouring. So he'll sell 36. He's got 36 of them. He'll sell two of them for 1 chaos. Orb of regret. He's got 30 of them. He'll sell 1 regret for 1 chaos. And basically, there you go. So you kind of work out the value of what your orbs are worth just by checking the trade chat. Okay, so it's always good to save your orbs for later in the game at higher levels, because they'll come in handy to enhance your gear for what you want in your final build, or you could just use them to trade for gear you want or need, so you can get that perfect build you want in late game. So I would suggest try not to waste your orbs when you're early level. So if you're under level 50 or level 60, just try not to try and save them up in your stash tab, because they'll be useful later on when you're a much higher level and you need to trade for items, and you need to use them to enhance your items as well, because not all items you find are going to be four sockets or 3 sockets. You're going to have to use a jeweler's orb to reforge the number of sockets on an item. That could take about 5 to 10 turns just to get 4 sockets on one item, so you'll be using about 10 orbs just to get that 4 sockets. And then also there's fusings as well. I haven't showed you fusings. I'll just buy a couple here.
See you.
Now, fusings are used to reforge the links between sockets in an item. So if you've got 4 sockets but they're not linked, you can use a orb of fusing, and that will give you a chance of linking the orbs. Now, the more sockets on an item, the harder the chances are to link all the sockets together. That's why you won't see a lot of 5 links or 6 links items. It's very, very rare, incredibly rare. I suggest if you're going to try and link up sockets, just go at maximum 4 when you're starting out. Even 3 is good enough, for when you're starting as a starting character. Okay. Now I'll just go through with you with skills as well. So in Path of Exile, the way skills work is through skill gems. There are red gems, which require strength to use, and there are blue gems which require intelligence to use, and there are green gems which require dexterity to use. So in this, I've got a green gem, I've got a blue gem, I've got a red gem. Now this green gem requires dex. I need mainly, the main stat is dex. I need 84 dex just to use this gem. Okay, that's the cyclone. And then I've got this gem, which is a blue gem, which is intellect. I need intellect to use this gem, so I need 134 intellect to use this gem. And this gem is a red gem, it's life leech. Now for life leech, I need 96 strength to use that gem. Now, when I put my cyclone gem in this armor, that is my skill. So what happens is I now have a skill on here which is cyclone. So I'll put that on, and there comes a cyclone. Okay, So I've got that ability. Now what I want to do is I want to make this Cyclone ability, I want to leech life every time I'm hitting things. So I'll get 2% of my damage leached back as life now. So it will come up there as 2% damage leached as life in the skill. Now, what I want to do now is I want to cast with this skill. I want to cast when I cast on critical strike. So what will happen there is it will give me a 62% chance to cast a link spell when you crit an enemy. So if I put my discharge in there now, or if I put if I put Ice Nova in there, any blue gem. So let's say I put a Shock Nova in there. So if I put Shock Nova in there, what will happen is I will have a 62% chance to cast a link spell when I crit an enemy. So it will cast this Shock Nova if I crit an enemy, a 62% chance. Okay, currently at the moment I'm using Discharge. Basically that's the reason why I'm using Discharge is my build. There's many different types of builds you can go for. This is just one build anyways, and yeah, so that's basically how skill gems work. Now at the start of the game you'll also find equipment and items. They'll drop off monsters. What you really need to look for in gear is life and resist stats. The most important, I think, in my opinion, is resist stats. Especially at the start of the game, you'll get hit pretty hard if you don't have resist stats. So I recommend you try and find suitable items with life and resist on them. Also, if you find an item and it's got sockets which are linked on the item, that is also good to have when you're progressing into the game, because it will give your character like a much stronger attack in that, because when you have linked up stuff to let's say one skill, it will always make the skill much better. Also, yeah, so if you find that you're fighting bosses and you check your resists over here in defense. So I've got fire, cold, lightning, resist. It's all maxed out. Your resist cap is 75%, so you can't go higher than 75% unless you get a maximum resist stat on there. There are ways to do that. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but 75% is the resist cap, and that's what you need to aim for when you're playing Path of Exile. Then you can work on your life and your sockets and so forth. So yeah, the higher your resist is, the least chance you'll have of dying against a boss or anything like that, and you will notice a difference. I promise you that. Now, just when you've got your life and resistances, so when you've got good life and your resistances are maxed, try and work on your defenses after that, depending on the type of build you have. So if you were a close melee character, you'd want to work on armor stats to reduce the physical damage. But remember, armor does not reduce elemental damage, only physical damage. That is why some melee characters like to invest in armor with energy shield. At the moment, I've got armor and I've got energy shield. I'm happy with the combination at the moment. It gives me 557 energy shield here. Also, I've got nice shield here, which gives me 991 armor. So I've got my 557 energy shield just to, take the hits. And I've also got physical damage reduction of 26%. Now, if I took that shield off, my physical damage reduction will go down to 12%. And I'll also lose my chance to block, which is 23% chance to block. So very good stat to have when you're a melee character. And yeah, so if say you're a character like a bow character, you'll probably want to go with evasion stats to avoid being hit. Maybe you can have a mixture of evasion and armor. It depends, but you could go on, like I could talk about armor stats and evasion stats and all that, but hopefully you'll get the point. Like when you're building your character, you will get a feel of what defenses work best with your character depending on your build. So when you're progressing with your character, once you're happy with how your character's going and your character's surviving the boss fights and things are looking good, you want to try and work on your attacking stats. So items that work best for your build in attacking would be like crit, attack speed, casting speed, damage to spells or damage to attacks. Just depends on your build. So for example, I'm a crit cyclone build, so I'd want to work on attacking stats like crit and damage to attacks, and also I use when I crit, I use discharge. So another stat I would like to have is spell damage or elemental damage on my skill tree. Elemental damage, lightning damage, basically anything that would enhance the damage of my discharge spell. So you kind of you work towards your attacking stats once you think your survivability is quite high, and you don't have to worry about dying as much. Like you think you're pretty strong, you can take a bit of damage. And that's basically the order I would go in if I was building up a character. Yeah, so another thing is when you're going to go fight a boss. So the boss might be hard, and you think, okay, I'm not going to be able to keep my pots up. I'm going to have problems here. What you'd want to do is you'd want to make sure you just go into a boss fight, cast TP before the fight starts, and then fight the boss. Now, when you start losing, your health pots here, and they keep deteriorating down, and you got none left, basically, what you want to do is you want to go back into town. So when you go back into town, that will regenerate all your health pots, basically. So that's something that you can do. Also, another thing that I should mention is okay. So say I go into a waypoint here, and I start fighting these monsters. Now, all right. So I'm going to go down here. Now I want to clear this whole map up. Okay. So I'll go around here. Now here we've got a boss. He's not really a boss, he's a mini boss. Now for me, I'm not going to need a TP. I know I can handle this fight, but some people might cast a TP here just so they can go back into town and regenerate their health pots. Depends on your skill level, things like that. Now I've killed that mini boss, but I got some pretty good items from that mini boss. I got two rare items. I was pretty happy with that. So what I want to do now is, say I want to go back and fight that mini boss again, so maybe I can get some good items off again. what I'll do is I'll go back to the end here, and I'll go back into town. Or you can cast a portal, it's up to you. And you just click Control, hold down the Control button, click on the zone, and you just click New. I want to make the zone new again. So when I click and make the zone new again, and I go back in, it's refreshed again. So here we have it, and all the monsters are back again. And the mini boss up here, which is just part of the quest, should be back. There he is. So there's that unique mini boss. Okay. And what we'll do is, I'm still trying to find him. Now we'll just take him down. Let's see if he drops any rares. There you go. Got 3 rares from him again. Got some good gear again. And then we just pick up the rare items, and then we move on. And yeah, you can keep doing that if you like. It's up to you. Yeah, so I'll go back to town now. When I go back to town, my town portal will be up. I don't know why it keeps taking me back to this town. I think I haven't gotten the waypoint in the city of San. That's why. I haven't got the waypoint in the city of San yet. Okay, so when the town portal goes back to town, which is over here at the moment, now the portal will stay up for about 8 to 15 minutes. So for example, if you go AFK in town, you should be careful because the portal will close after about 8 to 15 minutes. So don't leave anything behind, any items. So if I left those rare items on the ground or whatever, if you go back into the portal and just sit here for 8 to 15 minutes, the portal will disappear, and then that instance is gone. So you can't go back into that instance after that. Yeah, anyways, so I'll move on to the next thing now. The next thing I'd probably show you guys is maybe the skill tree. Now, Path of Exile, when you press P, it will give you your skill tree. Now, yeah, when you look at this, it may look a bit daunting at first. It's like, this looks very confusing. This is like, what the heck is going on here? I don't want to play this game, you know, it just looks very, very confusing. But to be honest, this is very straightforward skill tree map, and you have different zones where you start, depending on which class your character is. So I'm a Shadow character, so Shadow will start here. Okay, it'll tell me I've got 239 intellect, 119 dex, and 254 strength. So, and then if you know what build you're going to do, it will make your skill tree progression a lot easier to work out, because then you'll know what particular nodes you want when moving forward in the skill tree. Now, in Path of Exile, there are 100 levels. Your max level, sorry, is a level 100. You get a skill point every single time you level. There are also quests that will give you skill points. In Act 1, there is, I think, 2 quests which will give you a skill point each. In Act 2, there's, I think, 2 quests as well, which will give you a skill point each. In Act 3, there's 2 quests that will give you, one will give you a skill point and a regret point, where you can refund points if you make mistakes. And there's also a quest where you kill a boss, and it'll give you 2 skill points. In Act 4, there is a quest where you can get 1 skill point. So every time you level up, you'll get a skill point. So when you get a skill point, you just work out what build you are. So I use Discharge as my spell, and on my weapon I've got elemental damage. So it's pretty straightforward for me to decide. I'm not going to go with physical damage here in life. Physical damage, I'm not going to go that way because I don't use physical damage. I'm going to go elemental damage. So I'm going to just follow the path of elemental damage. And then I'm going to get crit here because I've got crit and elemental damage and intellect, which is great. I'm going to get life, okay? Because life is one of the most important stats on the skill tree. Increased attack speed and dexterity, it's a no-brainer. And then more damage, lightning damage, and then crit. So I've got to get all these crit nodes here. Then I'm just going to keep progressing. Life, energy shield, and then I just work my way, keep going, progressing, progressing to what I want here, and then I can end up wherever I want to go. And you just go and follow what you want. Now, it takes a little bit of time to know where the nodes are on the skill tree and what path you're going to follow. I suggest if you're building a character and you want to be prepared for what character you want it to be, you can also go to the Path of Exile website, and they have a skill tree planner in there. I think it's www.pathofexile.com /passive-skill-tree. So you can do that as well, or you can just go to the Path of Exile website and it should be there. You should be able to like plan your build ahead there if you want. Being your first character, you're always going to be bound to make mistakes. It doesn't really matter because it's all part of the learning process. So in Path of Exile, especially in hardcore, try not to get too attached to your character because you could rip, you could just die, the character could die, and that's it. Then it's in the standard league. So I wouldn't get too attached. Also with Path of Exile, you've got plenty of things to do. So there's plenty of replay ability, and it's a pretty good game. It's got that replay ability like Diablo 2 had, which I enjoy a lot. And yeah, so just thinking if there's anything else I can go let you guys know. I think with items, when I was doing that farming before, so when I get my items, you've got Scroll of Wisdoms, and you've got Town Portal Scrolls here. So Scroll of Wisdoms will identify the rare items. I'm holding down the Shift button when I press it. You don't have to, you can just right click and click on it, right click, click on it, right click, click on it. But I'm in that rush mode, I just hold down the Shift button and just click, 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 and it will identify my items. Now, you can just basically scan your items, like look at your items, go, this is good, this is not good, it's good, it's not good. Now, I know what stats I like and what stats I don't like. You'll get a feel of what you like and what you don't like. I'm just looking at these items right now, and I can just see that most of them are pretty much junk. So, yeah, I'm not happy with any of them. I'll just keep that for the time being, the jewel, and then I'll sell them. So when I've sold them, I get orbs. So you get orbs, alterations, orbs. There's some more currency I've got, which I can save up and add to my stash. Orbs will always be handy. Doesn't matter how many orbs you got. You will use them up if you keep playing the game. So yeah, basically orbs are great to have. When you're leveling, your gems will also level. So plus when damage taken, mortal core, and minion speed, they're all ready for me to level up now. So I can choose to level them up if I like. Now when you level them up, it will require, for the red gems, it will require more strength to use it. With the blue gems, when you level that up, it will require intelligence, and with the green gems, when you level it up, it will require more dexterity. When you level up a gem, it will improve the stats on the gem, so it will make the gem skill better. What else is there? I think that's it, everybody. I didn't want to make the video too long. I just wanted to give you a quick guide if you're a beginner starting to play Path of Exile. I thought I'd try and do a video just to see if I could help you guys out, that trying to play it and trying to work out a couple of things. And if you're not sure about something, you can always just leave a comment in the comments field, ask me a question, and I'll be happy to help. And hopefully I've helped you in some way to decide. And if you liked the video, just leave me a like or subscribe to my channel, because I'll be trying to bring out more videos. And yeah, like I said, if you've got any questions, just leave some comments in there and I'll try and answer them as soon as I'm available. Okay guys, so I'm Lucas D. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you later.